Raise your hand if you've ever said something in the heat of the moment and immediately regretted it. Yeah, same. Or maybe you've had a conversation where you knew exactly what the other person was feeling, but you had no idea how to respond. But here's the truth. Emotional intelligence isn't about being soft or overly sensitive. It's about being smart with feelings. Yours and everyone else's. And once you see the pattern, the whole thing gets surprisingly simple. Let's break down what actually happens in an emotionally charged moment. You feel something. Anger, frustration, anxiety, defensiveness. And before you know it, you're saying something you can't take back. That's not a character flaw. That's your brain doing exactly what it evolved to do. Your amygdala hijacks your prefrontal cortex. Here's a framework that works every time. I call it the pause loop. 3 steps. Recognize, reframe, respond. That's all you need. Now I know what you're thinking. This sounds easy on paper, but in real life, the pause doesn't happen. The words are out of your mouth before you even know what hit you. That's normal. The pause is a muscle. You have to train it. And the training happens in the small moments, not the big ones. First step, recognize. When you feel that spike of emotion, name it. Say it in your head. I'm feeling angry right now. Or, that comment just made me defensive. Naming it puts you back in the driver's seat. It's the difference between being the emotion and observing the emotion. Second step, reframe. Once you've named it, ask yourself one question. What's the real story here? Is this person actually attacking me, or are they just having a bad day? Is this situation a genuine threat, or does it just feel like one? That question changes everything. Let's talk about empathy, because this is where emotional intelligence gets tricky. Most people think empathy is feeling what other people feel, but that's not quite right. Empathy isn't absorption. You don't need to take on someone else's pain to understand it. Real empathy is about listening without fixing, about being present without rescuing. Now, let's talk about the hardest person to show empathy to. Yourself. Most people are brutally self-critical. They say things to themselves they would never say to a friend. You're so stupid. Why can't you get it together? What's wrong with you? And then they wonder why they feel anxious and deflated all the time. Self-compassion isn't weakness. It's emotional intelligence applied inward. Let me give you a specific tool for difficult conversations. I call it the 10-second rule. When someone says something that triggers you, before you respond, take a breath. Just one breath. That's 3 seconds. Then repeat back what they said in your own words. So what I'm hearing is, that's another 3 seconds. Then ask a clarifying question. Did I get that right? That's the final 4 seconds. 10 seconds total. Now let me tell you about the one habit that will improve your emotional intelligence more than anything else. Journaling. Not about your day, about your patterns. At the end of each day, ask yourself 3 questions. What went well emotionally today? What went poorly? What would I do differently next time? That's it. 3 questions, 5 minutes. Sometimes the most emotionally intelligent thing you can do is set a boundary. Say no. Walk away. Because you're not responsible for managing everyone else's feelings at the expense of your own. That's not kindness. That's codependency. Real emotional intelligence knows the difference between being supportive and being a doormat. Here's what happens when you stop reacting and start responding. Your relationships get better. Not because you're perfect, but because you're predictable, in a good way. People know they can talk to you without being attacked. They know they can disagree with you without being shut down. That trust is the currency of every healthy relationship, and it's built one pause at a time. It's not about never getting upset. It's about knowing how to come back, how to apologize, how to reconnect. That's the skill, not avoidance, repair. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you had a conversation where you felt completely heard? Where someone actually listened, without interrupting, without fixing, without judging? Maybe it's been a while, because that kind of listening is rare. But you can be that person. You don't need a psychology degree. You just need to pay attention, to be present. to pause. That's emotional intelligence in action. It's not complicated. It just requires intention. You have everything you need right now. You already know how to listen. You already know how to pause. You already know how to care. The only thing missing is the permission to do it more often. So give yourself that permission. Next time you're in a charged moment, take one breath. Name the feeling. Ask yourself what you need, and then respond from that place, not from the spike. That's your starting point. That's the first step of a habit that changes everything. It's not about becoming a different person. It's about becoming more of who you already are. Someone who can feel deeply and still think clearly. Someone who can be present with others without losing themselves. Someone who can handle the hard stuff without falling apart. That's the skill. That's the whole game. And you already know how to play it. You just have to start.